Well, hello everybody, Pastor Dan once again with the rewind for the week. Now, before we go on, let me just say this. We're taking a break from our Think Before You Speak series for the next couple weeks. And this week, we're going to do the rewind for our message on Closed. And Closed is the Easter story, but the Easter story and the resurrection story is so awesome, we wanted to share that with you. Now, we start off every Sunday with our What You Gotta Know. And this week, Wiggy Pop brought the What You Gotta Know, and the What You Gotta Know is the basic theme of the day. It's the main point that we want everybody to remember. And this week, Wiggy Pop brought the What You Gotta Know, and the What You Gotta Know is the tomb is empty and Jesus is alive. Isn't that awesome? The fact that the tomb was empty after the third day and Jesus is alive? And that's our What You Gotta Know for today. So next, what we have is our Power Verse. And the Power Verse is the main Bible theme that we want everybody to know. Now, this week's going to be a little different because, the past few weeks we've done things to songs to help you to memorize it. This week, we're not going to have a song. Still memorize your scriptures for the Think Before You Speak message, but we still wanted to give you the Power Verse, and if you come in and you can quote it, you're going to get a prize. Anyway, this week's Power Verse is, "Look, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear my voice and open the door, I will come in." Revelation 3:20. So that's our Power Verse for this week. If you memorize it Sunday and bring it in, you're going to get some, but just remember, we're sorry, but there's no song this week. Now, next, what we're going to do is we're going to have Miss Whitney, and she's going to read the Bible lesson that we went through this past Sunday.
Hey guys, and welcome to our Easter service. So today's Bible story is the basic death, resurrection of Jesus, and that is found in all four Gospels. So go ahead and get your Bibles ready, and I'm going to go over the Easter story. All right, so Jesus started his ministry on earth around the age of 30. He spent 3 years preaching God's love to the world and performing many miracles. Jesus' 12 disciples knew he had promised to set up God's kingdom here on earth and that he was going to be the ruler of the world. But one day something terrible happened, a series of events where Jesus was arrested, beaten, and sentenced to death. His hands and feet were nailed to a cross. The soldiers laughed at him and made fun of him. The disciples couldn't believe it. They expected Jesus to fight back and defeat his enemies, but Jesus didn't fight back. Instead, when Jesus was hanging on the cross, he prayed for God to forgive the people who were hurting him. And as we all know, Jesus eventually died on that cross. The disciples were sad. They just could not understand. They wondered, how could this be happening? Jesus had such an incredible ministry. He had promised to set up his kingdom, but now he was dead. The disciples surely began to lose hope. They thought everything was over. They expected Jesus to save himself, but that didn't happen. Jesus' body was then placed in a tomb, and a large stone was rolled over the entrance. The tomb was completely closed. 3 days later, some women came to the tomb to anoint Jesus' body. And guess what they found? The tomb was open. Jesus' body wasn't there. Only his grave clothes were. Wow, what do you guys think happened? Suddenly an angel appeared to the woman and said, "Why are you looking for Jesus? He isn't here. He is risen from the dead." The women went to find the disciples and tell them the good news that Jesus is alive. Jesus later appeared to the disciples and many others, showing that he was indeed alive. Because Jesus is alive, we celebrate Easter. So guys, that is the Easter message. Because of Jesus, because he is alive, we get to celebrate. We get to be born again. And that's what we're talking about today. If our heart is closed off to Jesus, we can't get to celebrate in this amazing thing. But when we open our heart and we invite him and let him in, we get to celebrate his resurrection and celebrate because he is alive.
Thank you, Whitney. Doesn't she always do a great job? And we're so happy that she's a member of our team. Anyway, what we want to do now is we want to go through the 3 main points that we wanted everybody to learn this summer that goes along with the Easter story. But before we do, got a question for you. Have you ever been locked inside a room? Maybe you guys were all hanging around and everybody left and you couldn't get out. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about when we talk about closed, about how the disciples probably felt when Jesus was crucified and was placed inside the tomb and the stone was put over it. It's a very powerful story. Just hang on tight as we go through this lesson for this week. The first thing that we learned about this week was the tomb was closed shut. So imagine me with this. You and your dad have to move a huge stone. Now, it's not just like a regular stone like this, but it's probably like this big. It's a huge stone. It's heavy, it's big, and it's a big burden. Well, that's what Jesus was placed behind in the tomb. And when he was placed behind in the tomb, they rolled a big stone. It's not like everybody could get in there. Now think of the disciples, the people who had hung out with Jesus for 3 years. They saw all kinds of cool things that he did, from healing people, all kinds of miracles. All that was gone, and the friendship was gone. And imagine how the disciples felt. It was like they just lost their best friend, and he was no longer there. And that stone being put away closed the tomb. And the disciples, they probably struggled with loneliness and sadness, like, what's going on? Because the stone covered it. It was like a friendship was gone. But thankfully, what we're going to learn next is there's good news about how the power of God changed everything. The second thing we learned about today is Jesus walked out of an open tomb. 3 days later, Jesus walked out of an open tomb. The stone was rolled away. He had conquered death himself, and once again was reunited with the disciples, and they became great friends and changed the world. Now I want to change the direction for you. I don't want you to think about a stone. I want you to think about your heart and like a door. And it's like, have you ever heard somebody knocking at a door? Hopefully you're going to let them in. Our power verse today talks about Revelation 3:20, where it says, I stand at the door and knock, and anybody hears my voice and opens the door, then let me just put it simple, I'm going to hang out with you, we're going to be friends, and we're going to do great things together. Just like Jesus rolled the stone away and hung out with the discipleship, he is knocking at your heart. And all he wants you to do is open your heart and let him in and see the amazing things. Jesus rolled away a stone, but that same Jesus wants into your heart to do great things. Finally, the third thing that we learned about this week was Jesus wants to open the door of your heart. Jesus wants to open the door of your heart. He wants to come in. He wants to change you. He wants to do amazing things. And just like Jesus overcome death, he wants to overcome all the bad parts in your heart, in your life. And all you got to do is, if you hear him knock, all you've got to do is let him in. So that's the power of the resurrection Easter story. Just like he rolled away a tomb, he wants to knock at your heart and do amazing things. And that's our lesson for today.
Hey guys, I am back. We are going to go over the rewind questions for today. So get ready, listen up, and I hope you get them all right. All right, question number 1. What's the what you got to know today? The answer is, the tomb is empty and Jesus is alive. Question number 2. What did they place in front of Jesus' tomb? The answer is a large stone. Question number 3. How many days was Jesus dead? The answer is 3 days. Question number 4. Who were the first to see that the tomb was empty? The answer is a group of women. Question number 5. Who told the women that Jesus was alive? The answer is an angel. Question number 6. Jesus is standing and knocking at the door of your blank. The answer is heart. Question number 7. According to our lesson today, the tomb was blank, blank. The answer is closed shut. Question number 8. According to our lesson today, Jesus walked out of an blank tomb. The answer is open. Question number 9. According to our lesson today, Jesus wants you to open the blank of your heart. The answer is door. Question number 10. Where was our power verse found? The answer is Revelation 3:20. All right, guys, I hope that you did well on those rewind questions, and we'll see you again next week.
So that's the rewind for the week. Remember what you got to know. The tomb is empty, but Jesus is alive. Isn't that awesome? And remember our power verse for the week. Revelation 3:20, before I stand at the door and knock, if anybody hears my voice and lets me in, I will be with them and they will be with me. It's such a cool power verse. Anyway, that's everything that we learned. Please remember what we've got coming up. Please remember this Sunday is Glow Day. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about being the light for Jesus. We're going to play glow-in-the-dark games. We want everybody to wear neon colors because we're just going to light everything up. It's going to be a lot of fun. And bring a friend, okay? Then finally, to keep up to date with what's going on, follow our YouTube channel where we have the scripture songs and the rewinds. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll come up with a lot of other things. And also go to the app or to the website to keep informed with things going on. Lots of fun stuff going on. But we would love to see you every week. Share this video with a friend. You might have a friend who doesn't know about going to church, or a parent who wants to find a good church for their family to go to. You can show them this and they can see what we're all about and see that, yes, we have fun, but we love Jesus and we love learning about him. Anyway, that's the rewind for this week. We're looking forward to seeing you Sunday. Don't forget, Glow Day is coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we'll see you then.